All right, Shalom. Kolo Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Hashem Kakodash. Double honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who do teach and rule well and tell us this 100% truth. Peace, love, and salutations unto the elect. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right. And this is inspired, all right, by, I was just doing some research and into a few different things, but the research led me to pull up the articles or the news outlets that have brought forth articles in regards to police departments and how they turn down potential recruits if they have a high IQ. All right. And let me see if I can pull this up. Can turn down recruits with high IQs. All right. Yep, this is the one. Okay, I was doing research on the computer, Salaki, so I wanted to get the title of it word by word. But as you see here, all right, as you can actually go into this in depth. I mean, this has been going on since before the 2000s. All right, there's articles on ABC. There's, plenty of articles. All right, but basically, if you score too high, all right, on the particular test, then you are rejected as a police officer. All right. Now, we understand that these particular roles, all right, when you go into it, it goes back to slave patrol. All right. And we can get it here, slave patrol badge. And there you have it. Plantation police. Okay. South Carolina, runaway slave patrol. Okay, what is racial profiling? All right. Many different badges, man. Okay, and these are actual auctions. Look at the link, invaluable.com, sold price. All right, so as you can see, okay, this is, these police officers, are nothing but your modern day slave patrol, to put it frankly. All right. But what I wanted to grab, okay, is IQ classification. All right. That's what really inspired this lesson. Okay. And Lord's will. Yep. IQ classification, Wikipedia. Okay. This is what inspired the lesson. All right. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have it on the computer, so Baba Kashah, just bear with me. All right, here we go. So IQ classification tables for current tests. All right. Now, what inspired this was the name of IQ ranges. All right. And basically, you can go into some research, but anybody who scores above an IQ of 110, all right, because 110 is the high average. Anybody that scores above 110 to be a police officer, right, with our officers, well, really, when you go into it, all right, we can hit the etymology real quick. And then when you go into our customs, okay, we had officers, all right. So let's get the etymology first. All right. One who holds an official post, one entrusted with a responsibility or share of the management of some undertaking. You see, and when you go into scriptures, we had officers, all right, in the camps, all right, the same way we do today, that share a responsibility to do what? To maintain order, all right, to execute certain commands, okay, to ensure, righteousness, right? What do police officers do? Well, not really in this kingdom whatsoever, but they're meant to maintain order, right? They're meant to make sure things are, quote, right. All right. Well, we know that's not the case. Okay. But I found this, and it was like, wow, because when you go into the classification systems, these classification systems known as the Weichler Intelligence Scale, all right, and also the current Weichler, because the one down here is for children, all right, and the one up here is for adults. But basically, it's known as deviation IQ, all right. And when I went into the etymology, all right, of deviation, it reminded me of scriptures. Okay, this is how much of a devil this guy is, man. Okay, because your IQ range, all right, in his system, also known as deviation IQ, is a representation of a going astray. All right, the turning aside. All right, so he's basing, okay, ultimately your IQ on how contrary you are to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see that? Because if you have an IQ that is, 110 or above, which ultimately when you go into, the graph, all right, oh, Salaki, actually, it was here. When you go into the graph, all right, they basically reject you. Okay, anything that's in these ranges, they reject you. All right, because ultimately your IQ is at a particular threshold where they know that actions or certain wicked decrees that they give you, you won't acknowledge them. You see that? But if your IQ is just about at a level that's contrary to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but it's not higher than that where you won't question the wickedness, it's okay. You see how this devil does, man. I not found it surprising. It was like, wow, your name for it is deviation IQ, and that's great. That's fire, man. Even down to these simple things, all right, of being someone who is supposed to share responsibility to maintain order and law, all right, even down to that, the system by which you have it by, all right, is still based off of contrariness to, is still based off of the concept of a turning away. You see, of basically being in complete rejection to the Most High. But we know, the Edomite, we know the elites, we know that if you have a certain IQ, you'll realize that what we're doing is wrong. You'll realize you'll be vocal about certain things. So we cannot accept anybody that is above average, if you will, and I say all of that to kind of add on to, I say all of that to say this, all right? You stupid damn Americans, you trust in these people, okay? These people who can't have an IQ or a measure of intelligence according to this world. These people can't have an intelligence past a certain point, all right? So if these particular people who hold a higher authority than you do as regular peasants, okay, how much worse is your intelligence to entrust the things that you do into the hands of these people? All right, which all goes to show, man, hey, the whole world is a show. All right, is it like the other Kazakh said, is really a simulation. And sometimes you will get so stuck in the simulation that you'll forget you're in a simulation. Imagine, let's think about it. How many people trust in the police? All right, even before, current events. All right, let's say during the times of so-called peace, or the more quieter times, after, slavery, in the civil rights movement, when what did Martin Luther King say? I fear I have integrated our people into a burning house. Right. So in between, a bit of the calm, that we may have saw in history. Right. Even during that time, they still couldn't be, at a certain level intellectually. You see? they still I mean, it's just like you have to think like how foolish, like do you have to be to not see these things, and the wadi man, because it is really a simulation, man. you know it truly is a simulation where the people that are meant to provide you safety can't have a certain IQ that may provide better safety, right? Because it would technically make them smarter and more responsive to certain things. Nope. We can't have that. Okay? So that's how man. It's all BS. It's all nonsense, man. Let's get some scriptures here. Okay, this wasn't meant to be long, but I just found it very, very interesting. Okay, through the Spirit. All right, Proverbs 21. And of course, all right, Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. All right, and what did we go into? Okay, it's called deviation IQ, a going astray, a turning aside from what? From the right way of course. You see that? So even in the systems, all right, that are, and we know, but this is for you Jakes, out there, all right? And also, as our elders and apostles often say, Esau's on trial. So this is just another argument, okay? Another argument for you, against you, Esau, Edom, and to the 2/3 of our nation that are joined unto you, okay? Even in your classification of the people that should provide safety, they have turned aside from the right way or course. All right? They've turned aside. That's why you won't permit anybody that's at a higher threshold. Because ultimately, when you're at a superior, as it says in the chart, when you are at a superior or very superior, IQ, or intelligence scale, or which is all vain, okay? Because this IQ nonsense is bullshit, all right? The real knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding comes through the Rakak Kodash, through the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, through the gift of faith that we have been given, all right? That comes through the volume of the book, all right, being the Holy Scriptures, okay? But even something that's meant to maintain a standard, in your system, right? This is a standardized, what do they have? Standardized test, and all this other nonsense. Even these systems, you clearly show that you hate your own people. You hate yourself. All right. That's why scripture says, what is it in Sirach? What is rebuketh Satan, rebuketh his own soul. Shalakia, I know it's in Sirach. Yep. Sirach 21:27. When the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul. You see? So you regular peons, you regular Jakes out here, that want to be, yada, 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 but yet you take a DNA test to try to figure out your lineage. You subscribe to your standardized tests and whatever other fancy bullshit tests that they have you take in these, higher learning, organizations, your Harvards, your Stanfords, your whatever the hell it is, man. All right. Guess what? Okay. It all goes back to deviation. It all goes back to how far. All right. How far are you away from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? All right. And how close are you, okay, to our system? All right. And I lost it. Salakia. All right. Here we go. All right. How far have you turned aside? Okay. How far, man? All right. Because at the end of the day, those that are above average as well, though you might not accept them onto your police force. All right. But at the end of the day, they're so high level into the system that you know, as the demon that you are, they can't be a police officer. They have to be one of your doctors or physicians or warlocks, you know? So it will be counterintuitive for you to have these people, patrolling, you know? It's like trying to have a baker as a president. That just doesn't make sense, right? But if you have somebody whose qualification or IQ or deviation or straying away from, if his knowledge, all right, is that of a president, you're not going to make him a baker. That would be counterintuitive for you. You see, so it goes how it shows. It goes to show, Salakia. It goes to show how far, this devil has really created all of the systems that he has. All right, even down to something as simple as an IQ, a standardized test, what do they call it? I was about to say SIT, not SIT, SATs, I believe they call it. All these different bullshit classifications. That's all it is, man. All right, it's really just a classification to see how far in your knowledge on the left-hand side you have excelled without the enchantments and rituals of the upper class, if you will. Okay. Psalms 73 verse 22. So foolish was I and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee. All right. Hey, and that's what Esau is, man. Esau is literally a beast. That's why you have in Habakkuk, all right, the 2nd chapter. Okay, and we're going to get the 4th verse. The point, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not aright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Why? Because guess what? He is foolish, all right, and he is also ignorant, lacking the knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, which makes him a beast, and matter of fact, I actually had intended to, let me see if I can find it here. I had intended to do a particular, let me see here, a particular lesson on this. All right. Okay, it's not coming up, but we'll find it. Here, the feast like a beast, Mr. Beast. Okay, here we go. Feastables. All right. This is a so-called popular all right, YouTuber. Say they won't even let. Okay, there we go. The Wali Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. I was about to say they won't even let me view the website. This is a so-called popular YouTuber. All right, and he if you look at the videos, it's just like the deviation IQ, or the so-called IQ range, right? That's what they took. Oh, well, this is the IQ range, but really you categorize it, as seen in quotes, as deviation IQ, right? So as you see here, it's called Feastables, all right? Feastables, okay? And the motto was feast. Oh, there it is. The Wali Yabashim Yahushai. Feast like a beast. You see? And that's this society. Look down here at the bottom, all right? This little, thing down here that I'm, I just held on to it. All right, look at that. That's a beast, okay? The beast that has wandered out of the way of understanding. All right. Hey, that's why it says as brute beast. What is that? 2 Peter's, the water. 2 Peter's 2 verse 12. But these as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not. What are the things that they understand not? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Holy Scriptures, man. All right. Not only the commandments, the 613 of the cardinal of the carnal ordinances, right? Which, a lot of those things are what? Carnal in the sense of they require action. right? In a physical sense. When you go into the Levitical priesthood, when you go into the Old Testament, 613, you got to do this, you got to do that. But guess what? The New Testament introduces the law of the Spirit. All right, that's why you have scriptures such as in Romans, that which is not of faith is sin, roughly paraphrasing. And Proverbs, if I recall correctly, the thought of foolishness is sin, right? So that's the law of the Spirit. There are other things that encompass, okay, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. Speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. The same way like Esau Edom. All right, the self-proclaimed white man who has created these classification systems. All right, he'll have you take a test, and he'll be like, oh, this is your IQ range. Well, really, that IQ range is known as deviation IQ. All right, which goes back into, as we have already brought out twice, all right, a straying away from the right way, from the right course. All right, so this is how Esau measures you up and how you can be a benefit to his society by giving you these standardized tests, by giving you these different exams, by giving you these different, things, all right, that can help him classify you better and how far, you are off from the right course. How much of the wine have you drunken? Okay. How much of the feast like a beast have you partaken in, like we saw, right? So, hey, man, I just wanted to share that, man, through the Spirit. I found it very interesting. And, even when you go into certain of the classification systems, they use a particular term, borderline, which implies being very close to being intellectually disabled. All right. And basically, if you have a low IQ, which they would take us as having a low IQ, right? Because I don't know what E equals MC fucking squared means. OK, I don't know what the Stragelius cloud or whatever other BS he then came up with. We're so detached from this guy's knowledge, they would consider us being intellectually disabled. What do they teach? They teach Pythagorean theorem, trigonometry, all this other BS, man. Like math, the science, the math, the yada yada. Hey, and by their classification system, we'll be intellectually disabled. We're basically mentally challenged. Hey, and yet the whole time, that's what you are. All right. Then it goes to show how far this damn devil has created a system to make you believe that you are in some way, shape, or form a high level intellectual, and all this other nonsense. When in reality, those tests are based off of how far and contrary you are to the right way, So, hey, man, Lord's will you was edified. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations unto the elect. Until next time we say Shalom.